Am I glad? Am I absolutely glad that my alma mater is Manchester Metropolitan University and not University of Manchester, because they've only gone and created the most perfect shitstorm for us polys. Poly, by the way, stands for Polytechnic. Basically, bit of background, Manchester Metropolitan University was a polytechnic, which was a kind of university where you basically went to learn trades. You could do all the academic stuff too, but it was mainly for people who came from grammar schools, etc. It was a way for poorer people to go to university. So, until around about the 90s and the early 2000s, there were polytechnics, and now they're all universities, and they all do the same old things that you see in universities and colleges around the world. They're a bit more high status now than they used to be. So that's why we call ourselves polys. It is our namesake. We have not forgotten our roots. So that's it. That's the background to when I discuss myself as a poly. So I'm not polyamorous or polygamy bleh thingies. Okay? Let's get that out the way. So, why am I happy that Manchester Metropolitan is my alma mater and not University of Manchester? Well, it's very, 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 very simple. Manchester University was meant to be basically doing a talk about free speech, specifically feminism, and does it have a problem with free speech. And they invited a couple of people, so among them are the two important people in this story. And I'll be reading an article in just a moment. And now the two important people were Milo Yiannopoulos, or Master Milo, Nero on Twitter. Everyone knows about Milo if you've watched my channel. And Julie Bindel, who would be the feminist to his anti-feminist, I guess, if he even is. So, they were invited. Julie Bindel was banned from attending a couple of days before because of comments she apparently said about transgender people. I can neither confirm what she said or denying what she said, but she said something that the University Students' Union didn't like. Yes, student unions, they are another important player. And then later on, Milo was banned on the 7th, I believe, for the same thing, and we all know what he thinks. And bear in mind, this guy's part of the LGBT community, and even he's been banned. So, let's read the article, and this is from Manc Union, Manchester Media Group, and this is by Jenny Stern and Charlie Spargo. Update. Yiannopoulos also banned from censorship event, or that's the name of the article. After barring Julie Bindel from a debate on censorship planned for mid-October, the Students' Union have now told Milo Yiannopoulos that he is also prohibited from attending. Now, I know I was in university for 3 years, but this is one thing that I've never fully been able to comprehend, grasp, and rationalise, and basically get a hold of. How can the Students' Union have so much power that the university will turn a blind eye to them, basically censoring people for an event that they organised? Sure, the university can be reached and say, look, these people have been banned for silly reasons. It's ironic that they were banned from a free speech event about free speech. So can you please override the student body and get these people back? But apparently not. Apparently the student union has too much power for a union that isn't really a union. It's just a representative body. Students aren't workers. I never got the thing about that. Anyway, let's continue. Following the decision to prohibit Julie Bindel from speaking at an event hosted by the University of Manchester Free Speech and Secular Society, the Students' Union executive team have now moved to ban men's rights activist Milo Yiannopoulos, who was originally scheduled to debate alongside her. Now, I don't think Yiannopoulos is actually an MRA. I think he's sympathetic in many ways, but I would never say he was a men's rights activist. He's never said he was one. So their facts are wrong there. Although I could be wrong. Maybe he has said it. Comments, you can tell me. Anyway, let's continue. Bindel and Yiannopoulos were both booked to speak at a debate entitled From Liberation to Censorship, Does Modern Feminism Have a Problem with Free Speech? Well, of course it does. We all know that. To take place on the 15th of October. In their initial statement, the Students' Union executive team rejected Bindel on the grounds that her appearance would be potentially in breach of the safe space policy. So even one of the most revered universities in the UK, hell, even the world, where the first computer first actual electronic computer was used during World War II by gay icon Alan Turing, and among other fantastic things that have happened from that university, have a safe space policy. I don't understand how Bindel can just walk somewhere and be in breach of a safe space policy. It's almost as if her not being the right kind of person because of the way she thinks and what she says means that she should be segregated from the rest of the students, as if just her turning up will trigger so many of those rich idiots over at the University of Manchester. Like, hi everyone, I'm Julie Bindel. Anyway, let's move on. Yiannopoulos was, however, initially permitted to attend, albeit under the conditions the event had increased security levels and was ticketed. Jesus Christ, it's only Milo Yiannopoulos. I mean, I know the guy, is like the biggest troll on Twitter in regards to always provoking the ire of the social justice warriors, and let's be honest, the guy's a hilarious dude, and I don't agree with him on many things, in fact loads of things, but he's not a dangerous person. It's just Milo Yiannopoulos. He writes articles for a living. He's not a terrorist. I don't understand how one person, hell, two people, can be that triggering to a body of people who are there to listen to what they have to say. Surely, if there's such a problem and a danger, why the hell are the people buying tickets to this event in the first place? Surely they know exactly what Julie Bindel and Milo Yiannopoulos have said in the past and what their views are. It's like going to a comedy show and the comedian who is headlining that show is a well-known racist, or maybe he's just politically incorrect. Doesn't matter, it could be anything, and you go there knowing full well of these various facts and you get outraged by it, even though you know it's this person and you know you might get offended. That's stupid. So let's continue. In a comment on the Manchester Students' Union Facebook page to his original decision, Yiannopoulos wrote, "I'm astonished that I wasn't outright banned as well. I'll have to up my game." Oh Milo. Maybe this is why. Women's officer Jess Lishak posted an extended explanation in a blog post, since removed due to developments in the situation, to her official Facebook page. In this, she described Bindel as a famous transphobe and Yiannopoulos as a professional misogynist. Since this, however, the union has said that they have been made aware of new information and evidence regarding Yiannopoulos and have amended their original statement after seeking legal advice. Woman's officer calling Yiannopoulos a misogynist and Bindel a transphobe without any evidence whatsoever. I mean, I don't know what this evidence was regarding Yiannopoulos. I mean, he says everything out in the open. He's a public figure. There's no evidence. It's all out there. You know what he thinks about these issues. So you've invited him, and now you want to ban him because you've just realised that, he has certain opinions we don't agree with. And yet this is supposed to be a free speech event, Manchester Uni. You done fucked up, and no wonder Manchester Met students chant to you guys on the buses during a night out, "I'd rather be a Polly than a cunt." You're just giving us more ammo to make ourselves look like the better university. So much for Tin Pot University, mum. Don't mind that. That is an in-joke, people. Anyway, let's carry on. In an update to their original announcement, the union stated, "Further to our previous decision to ban Julie Bindel from speaking on campus, we are extending this decision to Milo Yiannopoulos. We have been made aware of various comments lambasting rape survivors and trans people, and as such we are concerned for the safety of our students on the topic of this event. He is a rape apologist and repeatedly used derogatory and debasing ableist language when describing members of the trans community. This undermines the principles of liberation enshrined in the Students' Union as outlined in the Safe Space policy. We believe those views could incite hatred against both trans people and women who have experienced sexual violence. As we believe it is probable these views would be aired in this discussion should he be allowed to speak on campus. We have no choice but to ban him, as we made clear to the society. This means that this event with the proposed speakers will not be going ahead under the banner of the Students' Union with our support or using our resources." Oh, bloody hell, now I could just leave it there and say enough said. They've pretty much admitted that they're censorious bastards, but I will go through it. Now let's start with the original paragraph, the first bit. "I've never seen Milo lambast rape survivors. I've certainly seen his views on trans people, and I don't necessarily agree with it. I don't really have an opinion on it either way. Everyone knows that I tend to just let people live their lives the way they see fit. I'm very much a live and let live kind of guy. But I've never seen him, be a rape apologist and lambast rape survivors. If anything, he's lambasted people who have pretended to be rape survivors, like Emma Sulkovitz and the woman who was in the UVA thing, and any one of those. He said the facts. That's all he said, as far as I'm aware. And these trans things, well, that's his opinion. I don't have an opinion on that either way. That's his opinion. But I don't see these things as dangerous. The students walking into that safe space thing is, this is supposed to be a free speech event, but yet it's somehow in a safe space thing, and now they can't do it because apparently people are going to get harmed just because of the way that Milo and Bindel speak. They're not going to get harmed. They're just words. They're just ideas. They might not even agree with him at the end of the event. They might walk out the same as they walked in. There is nothing wrong with what he's necessarily saying, and neither is there anything wrong with what Bindel's saying. Both of them should be there. It's supposed to be a free speech event, but oh well, University of Manchester, in your infinite wisdom, have decided to ban them and basically ruined what could have been a great speech. A great event for that society. Yiannopoulos posted an article to his own blog last year titled "Transgenderism is a psychiatric disorder. Its sufferers need therapy, not surgery." Now, I don't know about that, but I remember Mr. Metka did a stream with trans people about their community, and one of them said they disagreed with removing it from the psychiatric disorder thing, the book. I forgot what it was called, because it stops them from getting surgery, it stops them getting treatment, I think, if I can remember. I'm paraphrasing here. So in many ways, I guess he could be right. I mean, gender dysphoria, I guess it kind of is a psychiatric thing, because your body feels one way, but your mind feels another. So, yeah, I guess you do need help. I don't know. I'm just, that's what trans people have told me, what other people have told me, so I have loads of friends and they've told me about these things, and it's like, okay, yeah, that's what I got from them and what I've seen reading around a lot about the subject. So anyway, forget about that. He said that, but that's not going to harm anyone. He won't change someone's opinion. That's his opinion. They can just disagree with that and move along. But no, we have to ban it because it's wrong think. This is so Orwellian, it's unreal. But let's continue. Responding to the news, Yiannopoulos told the Mancunian, "I'm a provocateur, and it's always going to be easy for uptight, censorious types to misrepresent my tweets, jokes, and column writing as hateful." I agree with him there. They are definitely misrepresenting him as hateful. I don't think he ever says it out of hate. I certainly think he says it because he's an outspoken man, and that's his view. I've never seen him actually express hatred towards trans people, or even women. It's Milo Yiannopoulos. I don't think hateful is one of them. He certainly hates the left wing, but not in that way. More of a rival thing. So let's continue. "And I know how badly I get under the skin of authoritarian finger-waggers, so I'm not surprised to have been banned. But I'm shocked that Julie Bindel is still getting this, 11 years after a column she has apologised for many times. I make no apologies for questioning bullshit rape statistics and setting out my views on better treatment pathways for transgender patients. That I do so in strong and occasionally waspish language is irrelevant. If she's apologised for it, why are we even banning her from this event 11 years on? I've not seen the column, I cannot judge her. All I know is that she's been banned wrongfully. Even if she still had those opinions, it's obvious that she has changed her opinion over the years and has come to a new conclusion. So I don't see what the problem is here, Manchester University. All I know is that you suck and MMU fucking rules. Yes, people, I am loving this right now. Not the censorship, but just how badly this has gone down for University of Manchester from a PR perspective. It's brilliant. I'm surprised MMU haven't used this for a campaign. Okay, let's continue. Indeed, the whole point of the debate was to consider whether feminism has a problem with unfettered speech. I think now we know. Enough said. Enough said. I don't have to say anything after that. The Free Speech and Secular Society posted an official statement to its blog on Thursday stating, "First, the University of Manchester Students' Union banned Julie Bindel for views she has expressed on trans people in the past. After ourselves and numerous other students pointed out the inconsistency, the SU announced that they are also banning Milo Yiannopoulos." We object to this illiberal banning of Julie Bindel and Milo Yiannopoulos. We do not endorse the views of either of the speakers, but merely wish to hear them speak and challenge them on what they say. While both speakers have said things one might disagree with, they do not incite to violence and do not pose a danger to the students. The society is correct. The society are absolutely correct. They pose no threat to anyone. Most people will probably not change their opinions. Like I said, they will walk out the same way they walked in. And I'm glad that they're taking a stand against the union and the university, because more societies need to step up and actually, fight this censorship epidemic that we have on campuses right now. You know what? They could just do it somewhere else. Maybe they could get some society members or people that they know, because I'm sure some of them are rich and in higher places, to hire a venue and do it outside of the university. I don't know. That's an idea. I would have preferred it on the actual university itself, because universities are supposed to be a bastion of free speech, yet apparently not anymore. But then again, have they really? Because as Brendan O'Neill, if I've got his name correct, once said, they tried to ban famous people such as Percy Shelley, a famous poet from Great Britain, who made a pamphlet discussing atheism, saying how people need to be atheists. He got kicked out of university for that. So really, I don't think anything's changed. Universities have always had this kind of mindset, like, we want these ideas, but not those ideas, because, they're wrong. I think we need to actually quash that properly. We need to stop this censorship that they've been going on for far too long. So, anyway, let's continue and finish the article, and maybe I'll get into that in a minute. We reject the ban of Milo Yiannopoulos on the following grounds. 1. He has notoriously questioned the efficacy of surgical gender reassignment therapy. As much as this view may be considered offensive or dangerous by some, it is no way hate speech or advocacy of violence. Yeah, he questioned how good it is for people. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I personally am uninformed on the surgery itself, and I don't want to get into murky waters. So again, I see nothing wrong with what he said there. They are correct. He's not trying to incite anything. Number 2, he rejects the epithet of rape apologist. At no point in his literature he has justified such action. That's true. He has never apologised at all. He's not an apologetic man. If he's unapologetic for his views, he is unlikely to be apologetic for rape. Especially since, as a gay man, he knows full well that rape amongst gay men has been woefully underreported, as it has among straight men and lesbian women. Well, unless these men have been raped by other men, but other types of rape have been largely brushed under the carpet by a certain ideology, but that's not relevant, is it? Number 3, people who find his views questionable could reasonably avoid hearing them. Under the restrictions imposed by the SU, it would in fact be much harder to listen to him than to avoid to listen to him. That's very true. Like I said before, if they know full well what he's going to say, so why bother turning up? And Julie Bindel also tweeted directly to the union, "I'm going to fight you in this. You are the straw that broke the camel's back." I hope her and Milo fight them and manage to get their bans lifted, because if anything, I'm glad this is happening. I am glad that it's happened to both of them, and now we can see what happens when people work together, because united we stand, divided we fall. And the article pretty much finishes with saying talks are ongoing between the executive and the Free Speech and Secular Society about this situation. So it's clear that the Free Speech and Secular Society are not going to give up on this, and I'm glad that Bindel and Yiannopoulos are going to fight this. I'm glad that the society has backed these people, even though they disagree with them, because that is exactly what they should be doing. We should be discussing these ideas without fear, without censorship. We're not going to get anywhere without discussing it. We're just not. We're not going to advance. We're not going to find new ways of approaching things, and we're just going to stall. Civilization will not move on without free speech. Anyway, that's all I have to say on the matter. University of Manchester, you suck. MMU rules. So, this has been Charming Man 93. Like and share the video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you all later.